Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss another question of SWOT analysis. Now let's quickly have a glance of the question and let's go to the problem. Now the question says we are having an inorganic halide A and it is giving the following reactions. Now the first reaction is that the cation of A, right, the inorganic halide is there and its cation on reaction with H2S in HCl medium gives a black precipitate of B. The black precipitate is the compound B, right? Now one thing is very much clear that we are talking about the basic radicals from group 2 because we are using the reagent H2S in the presence of HCl. So when we use this reagent, we usually talk about the group 2 reagents, right? Group 2 basic radicals. Now group 2 basic radical is there and we are obtaining the black precipitate, right? Now basically the cation is there, and if the cation is there, and let's say the cation is this one, and when it reacts with sulfide ion from the reagent, it will form sulfide salt. Now this sulfide salt is what? It is a black precipitate here. It is obtained as black precipitate here. And which of the following, or we can say which of the ions, which of the cations gives black precipitate in the case of group 2? They are either it is HGS, or it is lead sulfide, mercury sulfide, lead sulfide, or bismuth sulfide, which is basically Bi3 plus ion, or copper sulfide, CuS. So these are the probable options we have for the compound A, or we can say for the cation A. Now the question says A neither gives precipitate with HCl nor brown color with K4FeCN6. So the cation A, if it is not giving brown color with K4FeCN6, that means we can easily eliminate the options of copper sulfide and mercury sulfide as well as PBS, right? Because we know this HGS basically is what? It is Hg2 plus, and PBS is basically Pb2 plus, and CuS is Cu2 plus. We know Cu2 plus salts in the presence of, whenever we have the Cu2 plus salt and we add K4FeCN6, what will happen? We will obtain the chocolate brown precipitates, right? We will obtain the chocolate brown precipitate of Cu2 FeCN6. This is what we obtain in this case. And since it is saying that A neither gives the precipitate with HCl, and we know HCl is the group reagent of first group. It is a reagent of first group, and first group contains what? First group contains Hg2 plus, Pb2 plus, and Ag plus. And since A neither gives precipitate with HCl, that means we can again eliminate Hg2 plus and Pb2 plus, right? These two can be easily eliminated. That means we don't have these three ions. That means which one is remaining? The only one which is remaining is Bi2S3. Another indication that it is Bi2S3, it comes from the statement number 3. Now the statement number 3 says that an ion of A gives chromyl chloride test. Since we are talking about inorganic halide and the compound gives chromyl chloride test, that means that inorganic halide is basically inorganic chloride. We are talking about inorganic chloride, right? Because we are talking about chromyl chloride test, and we know in the case of chromyl chloride test, there are very specific ionic compounds which usually give this test, right? All these compounds which are ionic in nature and which are chlorides like NaCl, KCl, etc., or we can say ammonium chloride also, are preferred to give the chromyl chloride test. And which one will not give the chromyl chloride test? All the covalent chlorides. Generally those chlorides which have more of covalent character doesn't give the chromyl chloride test. Like we have the chlorides of mercury or tin or lead, or we can have antimony, silver. The chlorides of these metals doesn't give the chromyl chloride test. That means we can easily eliminate lead and mercury here also. That means lead and mercury is eliminated already, and copper was eliminated because the compound or the cation is not giving us the brown color with K4 Fe6. So that leaves us with the only one option, that is Bi3 plus ion. Now Bi3 plus ion on heating with, let's say, the cation of A on reaction with H2S in HCl medium gives a black PPT of B, right? That means we are talking about the compound BiCl3. This is our compound A, which gives us Bi3 plus ion, right? So this Bi3 plus ion, on making its reaction with H2S, what do we obtain? We will obtain Bi2S3, which is the black color precipitate. And this is our compound B. So this is compound A, right? This is our compound B. Next statement is what? B on heating with dilute HCl gives back the compound A and gas C, and the gas C gives a black precipitate with lead acetate solution, right? That means this compound B, Bi2S3 is there. When we make it react with HCl, what will happen? Ion exchange will take place, and we will obtain BiCl3 back along with H2S gas, right? This H2S gas is the compound C, and this H2S gas gives us a black precipitate when we pass it through lead acetate, PbCH3CO twice. Because we know when we do this reaction, what do we obtain? We obtain PbS, lead sulfide. Simple ionic reaction takes place and we obtain lead sulfide, which is a black precipitate. Right. Next point it says that we talk about the fourth point, that the B dissolves in hot dilute nitric acid solution to give the compound D. Okay, so in this case what will happen? If we talk about the B, what is B here? The B which is obtained is Bi2S3, right? So if we conduct the reaction, bismuth sulfide, if we make it reaction with nitric acid, again simple reaction will take place. There will be an ion exchange reaction, and what do we obtain? We obtained bismuth nitrate, like this. Along with that, what do we get? We will get sulfur and NO gas along with H2O. This is what do we get as the byproduct, right? So bismuth nitrate is obtained along with the yellow colored precipitate of silver and NO nitric oxide. Now we know nitric oxide is what? It's a kind of neutral oxide. There are oxides of nitrogen which are acidic in nature, and there are few which are neutral. One of them is NO, second one is N2O. So these two oxides are there of nitrogen which are neutral in nature. So that means statement 4 says B dissolves in dilute nitric acid solution to give the compound D, and D gives the ring test. D is what? D is bismuth nitrate, and we know since bismuth nitrate is an ionic compound, it is an ionic salt which will easily give us nitrate ions, and nitrate ion gives the brown ring test, right? Nitrate ions, it gives the brown ring test. And what compound is formed during the formation of brown ring test? It is FeH2O5 NO 2+. This is what do we obtained in the case of brown ring formation. This complex formation is taking place and its color is brown, right? And here what is the oxidation state of iron? The oxidation state of iron here is +1. Remember this thing. Next statement is what? Next statement is when NH4OH is added to the solution to D, right? When it is added to D, the precipitate E is obtained, and E dissolves in minimum amount of HCl to give back the solution of A. That means in this case what do? when we do the reaction of bismuth nitrate with NH4OH, again same way the ionic reaction will take place, ion exchange will occur, and what do we obtain? We will obtain bismuth hydroxide along with ammonium nitrate. Now the color of bismuth hydroxide is again white. It is again a white precipitate, right? Next, what happens? This white precipitate obtained, that is bismuth hydroxide, when it is dissolved in minimum amount of HCl, we again get the A, and the aqueous solution of A on addition of water gives the white turbidity. Okay, that means this compound is E, and in bismuth hydroxide, when we add HCl in minimum quantity, that is HCl here is a limiting reagent. So when do we the reaction of this one, where do we get? Again ionic reaction will take place and we get the BiCl3 along with H2O, right? Along with H2O, and BiCl3 is again the white colored salt. It is again a white salt, right? Now what will happen if I add excess of water in the solution? The solution obtained is what? The solution obtained here is BiCl3 salt along with water. And if I use excess of water here, if we use excess of water, what will happen? Again, what do we get? We get the white turbidity, and the white turbidity is because of formation of bismuth oxychloride. It is because of bismuth oxychloride. This is what do we obtain. So that means BiOCl is what? The compound number F, white turbidity F. Next it says the aqueous solution of A on warming with alkaline sodium stannate gives a black precipitate of metal G and sodium stannate. Now in this case what will happen? This BiCl3, when we do the reaction of BiCl3 in alkaline medium with sodium stannate, Na2SNO2. So it is what? Na2SNO2, that means tin has the oxidation state of +2. So basically in +2 it will be stannite. So it is our +2. What will happen? The reaction will occur and the +3 oxidation state of bismuth is reduced to 0. That means what do we obtain? We obtain the black precipitate of metal, which is bismuth. Since the reduction reaction is taking place, the reduction of bismuth is taking place, what will happen? The oxidation of tin will occur, and along with the bismuth, what do we obtain? We will obtain Na2SnO3. So here the oxidation of tin has taken place from +2 to +4, right? Along with that, the byproducts which are obtained are H2O plus NaCl. But the important thing is, what do we get? We get the bismuth metal again back, and the bismuth metal obtained is the product number G. Now the statement says the metal G dissolves in hydrochloric acid to give the solution of A. Now this is the G1, this is our G compound. If we dissolve the compound bismuth metal again in HCl, bismuth is again it's a metal, it will easily react with HCl and it will give us what? It will give us bismuth chloride, and along with that a release of H2 gas. And this bismuth chloride is what? It is again the product A, the compound A, with which we have started this question, right? With which all the reactions are started. So you see, the question is a bit lengthy one, but it will cover all the reactions related to the bismuth, all the reactions which are related to the qualitative analysis and the estimation, where we do the confirmatory test and we can say preliminary test. All the tests are given here with respect to bismuth, right? So again, you can do one thing, you can again solve the question by yourself and learn the reactions by yourself. I hope you understood it. For more questions, stay tuned. Thank you.